Hi, my name's Geoff and I'm the founder of DigitisationIO, which is the new name for Scan Data Experts. I'd like to talk to you today about GOOBI, which is a product that we're bringing to market as a hosted solution for the cultural heritage sector as a way of managing your digitisation projects in a simpler and more effective way. So I suppose the first question really is, what is GOOBI? Well, GOOBI is a production management system that we have been using since 2016 with our customers to help them to deliver their digitisation projects, help them to manage them, and it's based on 20 years worth of programming experience in digitisation from the founders of GOOBI, which is an organisation called Intranda based out of Germany. The way the GOOBI system works is it coordinates the work of the users, all the various different projects that you have, imports of data from your collections management system and exporting the digitized content out again to whatever delivery platform that you would like. And it gives you a really good overview of the projects that you're working on. It enables valid, compliant metadata to be created as well, which means that your data is going to have much more longevity and will be much easier for people to access both now and in the future. The system is very easy to use, and it was designed really as a way to avoid errors in digitisation processes, to make sure all of the content is consistent. And it's an open source product which is hosted online, and there are normally 2 or more server components. GOOBI workflow system, which is the system that we use to manage the work in a digitisation project. The task manager system, which is a system that does all the automated tasks like cropping and image processing. And then there's the GOOBI viewer, which is an optional component which you can use to publish your content online and make everything available via that route. Okay, so how does it basically work? Well, when you create an item to be digitized inside GOOBI workflow, it is assigned a workflow or a process template. So if you're going to digitize a book, then that's an item inside the system, and all the different steps that item has to go through, from scanning to image QA, metadata indexing, maybe OCR, maybe updating the catalog before you export the data. Every single step, each object has to go through each one of those steps in order. And that's great because you can see instantly where you are in the grand scheme of things. So you can see how many processes are at scanning or image QA, and you can see where the bottlenecks might be in your process. Some of the tasks are done by a person, and other tasks are done automatically by the system. And everything we can do automatically by the system, in things like metadata validation to make sure it's compliant, image processing, automatic cropping. We use the GOOBI system to do that because it keeps the operators focused on the most important parts, which are the things that require human interaction and decision making. Here's a screenshot of 2 different process templates, one simple and one a little bit more complicated. And there you can see that the way that GOOBI works is that a task that's been completed is green, the one that's in the process is amber, and then the red ones are tasks that are yet to be completed because the amber one hasn't been done yet. And when you go in as a user and you accept a task from your task list, then there are normally, this is how a task looks on the screen, and there are a few different things. On the area left, you've got the information about the item and what you're doing, the start of the work and when it was last edited. There's a process log so that you can pass messages. So if an item is fragile or if there's an issue with it, that can be communicated inside the system. The top right there, you can see an area where properties can be captured. So if you need to make a decision on the basis of the item or some information that you need to gather, that's where you would capture that. And then there are the actions area, so you can either release the addition of a task or report an error and push it back to the previous stage in the process. Everything is managed in a sequential way, and there are then plugins which launch as part of the task page to enable you to do tasks a little bit more easily. One example of that would be the embedded image QA plugin. So that gives you the ability to go in and actually look at all of the images and rotate them, delete extra images if you need to, and that's all done using the IIIF image viewer actually inside the web browser. So if you get your scanning done by a scanning company and they upload it to your GOOBI system, then your team working from home or your volunteers can go in and check the images have been done correctly before you pay the scanning provider for the work that they've done. So it puts you in control of the process, really, and that's one of the main reasons why we're making it available and why we believe in it and we use it so often in the projects that we're working on. Another of the plugins is the Metadata Edition plugin, and here you can put as much or as little metadata of each of these items as you like. So you can add people from persons databases, you can add locations so that the search results can be viewed on a map, linking through to controlled vocabularies. But you can even go as far as paginating printed documents, putting different sections in, selecting the main images that you want to display, and all of that's possible through this really powerful Metadata Edition plugin that comes in when you're in one of those stages. And this one here on the screen is an example of image upload. So you've scanned the images for a particular item, you just drag them into the web browser and they upload, and then you finish the task. So it's all very easy, and it doesn't require you to install software on your computer. And we've used this in projects all over the world, in Rwanda, in Sudan, several projects in the UK, and GOOBI itself has been used all over the world, in the USA, UK, Germany, you name it. It's being used by some of the biggest libraries and cultural heritage institutions that there are across the planet. Another nice little feature that GOOBI has, for example, is that when you decide to start a project, you can get it to print out a barcoded docket or a sheet that you can insert in the front cover of the item that you want to digitize, or attach it to the box of the item you want to digitize. And that just helps you to track the process through and makes makes it easy to see in the store which are the items that you need to pull out, for example, to go further and to go through the digitization process. Possibly the most exciting thing about the system is that it allows you to really accurately track everything that's going on with a project. So here, for example, you can see that it's tracking all the different stages, the particular date and where we should be by this date, for example. That enables you to work out where the bottlenecks in the process are. And you can have any number of users using GOOBI. There are no user restrictions or user licenses, and you can have any number of projects as well. So you can look at the status of the projects and how they're progressing in very instantly generated statistics within the system. So it's a really very useful piece of software as far as we're concerned. And then, of course, when you output the data, we can output it to any format that you like. So, if you have a system already that you want your data to be output to, then we can push out images or media that you uploaded, plus the XML metadata, or even the metadata in a CSV or an Excel format, for example. But one of the ways that we like to do it more than anything else is to use the GOOBI viewer, which is an open source viewer with a tremendous amount of features, including things like persistent URLs and the IIIF image viewer, and allowing users to download the METS files or MARC records or Dublin core metadata for the objects that have been digitized. And also it's searchable by Google, so all of your content, when it's made available in this format, is discoverable through that platform as well. You can have map interfaces, you can browse, you can narrow down your searches, advanced searches, and all the rest of it. So it's everything that you would expect really from a viewer, and you get that with the system that we are providing and hosting for you as well, so you can try it out. So I hope this has been a useful overview to start with, and to just help introduce you to GOOBI and what it can do. And we look forward to hearing from you, and if you've got any questions, do get in touch. Thanks for listening.